Howdy there, YouTube. AgPipe15 here. Oh, cigar just doesn't taste as good after it's ashed. I was, most of you know I work in politics, and I try and keep my videos non-political and very just straightforward, just tobacco and cigar stuff, or just stuff about life in general. But something's been getting to me here lately. I watch the news 24/7, and the thing with the Attorney General being held in contempt of Congress and basically lying to Congress. I mean, there's conflicting stories and all the depositions and stuff like that, and the Attorney General actually tried to cut out a deal with the chairman that's overseeing this committee that's holding the Attorney General in contempt. And the Attorney General basically said, if you let me off, I'll give you the papers that you want. And he said, no, that we're going to try you, and because it's a serious thing. It's a criminal crime what's been done. And if it goes far enough, then the Attorney General and his associates will be in a civilian court in front of a federal judge, and they'll be criminally tried for these actions, and which I don't think is completely right as far as the Attorney General's role in what happened to this Border Patrol agent. And it's tragic that it happened, and I think that the people and Congress should go every step to ensure that this doesn't happen again. And I don't agree with the president, though, using this executive order, and which, if most of you don't know, the president has executive powers, executive order. He can basically bypass Congress, if he wants to. Generally, these executive orders are only supposed to be used during times of war. That's what they were created for. But the system has been abused, and even Jimmy Carter, kind of outlashed Obama this morning about it, and how he was kind of abusing and using the law for something that it wasn't supposed to be. But it kind of kills me, because the Democratic strategists say, well, Attorney General Holder's turned in all the evidence that Congress asked. There's like 70-something thousand papers, and only 10% of them have been turned in. They said, well, that's all the evidence, and that's the whole case and everything. So, well, my point of view is just using common sense. If Congress is saying there's more to this story, and the Attorney General's only turned in 10% of these papers, and the president has to use this executive order to withhold, to hold the rest of these papers from Congress, well, something clearly is going on that isn't good. There's some foul play. There's something clearly that's going on that isn't supposed to be. So the government is hiding something in doing this, and I think it's been highly frowned upon. Even though the Democratic strategists have tried to defend the president and what he's doing. They say, well, we've handed over all the evidence. But no, you hadn't. I mean, if the president has to use his power to withhold these papers from Congress, well, something clearly is going on that's wrong. And I think that the president and the Attorney General should be held accountable for that. I mean, you're withholding evidence from the American people, Congress, over the death of a Border Patrol agent that shouldn't have happened. Some of you may not know about this, but the Border Patrol agent was killed with guns that were issued by the American government to the drug cartels as part of some kind of a sting. I forgot exactly what this operation was about, but somehow guns were passed to the Mexican drug cartels and ended up in the hands of the wrong people that shot a Border Patrol agent. And the guns were recovered, and they traced it back to the Department of Justice. But it's been taking me off. This guy was a Border Patrol agent. He's like an American soldier. He's defending this country, making sure that illegal aliens don't come in, and he was shot in the process. And the president, or the executive branch, is basically withholding this evidence, keeping this trial from continuing, which is going to drag it out even longer, probably more than likely past the election. And but like I said, I don't like making political videos, but it's just something that's kind of crawled under my skin, how government's gotten so corrupt. And I didn't vote for Obama when he was elected, But I was part of that. 80% of people that said, okay, well, he's elected. We're stuck with him. Hopefully, he'll do a good job. And I've been really disappointed. I've been let down by a lot of the stuff that's happened, and a lot of the stuff that has happened is very unprecedented. It's never happened in America before. I mean, our national debt has doubled since he entered office, and it's continuing to rise. The only good thing, gas prices have went down slightly. Well, from a few months ago, not from when he entered office, but anyways, there's just a lot of bad stuff going on in the federal government right now. Our state government here in Texas runs a pretty tight ship, and there's some corruption, but not a lot. We're a pretty clean state. Our legislature only meets once every 2 years for 140 days, and they take care of all their stuff in that 140-day period, and they don't meet again for another 2 years. And plus, our guys are only paid $7,200 a year, and whereas federals, their state, they start out at $150. Which the government can be good, but it's bullshit. They're withholding this evidence. It should be released, and even to give the parents of this guy that was killed closure, and it's just not right, and they need to release it. It's bullshit that this is going on, and I feel for the people that have family in the armed services. I've got a couple of cousins, but I've never had a death in the family over it, and I would certainly be upset if one of my family members was killed in action, and the cause was by a gun that was issued by the federal government to the Mexican drug cartels. I'd want full closure on that, and I would want the people brought to justice that were for this. Like I said, it wouldn't be so bad if they would have just come clean. Hey, this is what happened. We're sorry, but trying to hide it makes it even worse. And it's just some bad stuff. But anyways, YouTube, just feel free to leave some comments. I want to know what your take on it is, and I'm just going to keep on sitting out here trying to finish this thing down. I'll holler at you guys later.